Hello, everybody. I'm Madame Sensei. I teach Spanish, French, and Japanese to high schoolers out here in the beautiful Pacific Northwest, and I am thinking my way through the Harvard Project Zero thinking routines. If you want to help me with this, I can be reached at studio-nemo.com or ping me on the Minecraft Education Ambassadors or in the Minecraft Teachers Lounge or on the Duolingo Educators Network because I love to bounce my crazy ideas off of people. So today, we are in the next area of the Harvard Project Zero thinking routines. The first one that we haven't seen yet before because these two we saw in other ones. This is creating space for learning. And again, this is www.pz.harvard.edu/thinking-routines. Link in the description. This is a routine to foster a disposition towards self-understanding, self-direction, and mindful and compassionate concentration. This is actually just mindfulness. It's a mindfulness exercise. So you can walk your students through it in the target language. Frankly, I'd rather do something more culturally appropriate. So for my Japanese students, I wouldn't do this at all. I like to do shinrin yoku. Okay, shinrin yoku is appreciating nature. All right, so here we had some deer walking around our parking lot. So we went out and we look at the plants and everything, and you can do it anywhere. Okay, I teach my Japanese students uke-ire, which is going to build on mindfulness. Or I'll tell them some goofy stories about Zen meditation, which you really need a professional for, but the students like to hear my goofy stories. Or I love to get them on their feet and do some Tai Chi. Tai Chi not invented in Japan, but they sure do love it in Japan. And I show them how we did it when I lived in Japan, okay? So however you choose to approach this, find an angle that brings your target culture into the mindfulness practice, okay? For example, we'll talk about Suggestopedia in a minute. Suggestopedia is a designer language method. Have the students visualize some beautiful, calming location in one of your target countries. Okay? So think of some place that you love in that target country that's really calming and bring that into the lesson. If you're doing grammar explicitly, you've got pop-up grammar, grammar translation, audiolingual method, you're looking at transformation drills, community language learning, dissecting a script your class wrote, or you're working straight out of your textbook, you're in luck because if you make a regular practice of this, your students are going to pick up the grammar very easily through the repetition. You're doing mindfulness exercise, you better be speaking slowly and succinctly. So it's not going to be hard for your students to pick up on what you're saying, and you'll be repeating it constantly. You'll probably have to explain it the first time in English or whatever your native language is, but quickly your students will understand what you're saying the more you do it. If you're teaching literature, culture, history, art, connect it to the culture as much as you can. So like I said, for shinrin yoku, we go outside and there's a lot of pavement around, but there's still nature to appreciate. There's still the feel of the sun on your skin. There's still the breeze of the wind. You can hear the bees buzzing. You could feel the mosquitoes biting you. Whatever it is, you can still appreciate nature. So my question to you is, maybe your country didn't invent Tai Chi, but what's popular there, okay? Because maybe your country has, or your countries have some flavor of mindfulness that they're really into right now. And so you can bring it into your target language. Let's talk about Suggestopedia again for a moment. Suggestopedia, which is a designer method, which means that it was created specifically by somebody or a group of people and then sold. Okay, it's fine. There's plenty of designer methods out there. That's great. Suggestopedia says use classical music. Nah, I would never use just straight classical music. I want the music to be culturally appropriate. So forget that. My Spanish students are going to hear Spanish classical guitar. I just clicked the wrong button there. Spanish classical guitar. That's great. Yeah. French students, maybe it is kind of classical, but a little more modern. They'll hear some Claude Debussy. Okay. My Japanese students, sometimes I break out the koto music or the shakuhachi music. That's all good. But what I really love to play for them, let me get this out of the way, is symphonic music from some of my favorite movies, Yamato being the go-to absolute best symphonic music. It is just gorgeous and can really calm the students down. In our next episode, feelings and options. Hope to see you there.